What's up, y'all? I'm out here on the range, as you can see back behind me, on what's turning out to be a really nice day to do some testing. A little bit chilly out here with this wind blowing. I think temps are supposed to end up getting in the mid 60s, so going to definitely be a nice day to do some testing. I've gotten one done so far, and I've got a couple more planned. This one right here should be some pretty interesting 45 ACP. So of course we got the jelly contraption set up, ready to roll with a couple of chronos and 2 blocks of gel. Now again, I've done one test so far. Most of those stayed in the bag. One of them did sneak up here, but that's all in the back. I'll leave a link up above if y'all hadn't seen that one. Of course, you can see, as always, I've got a heavy clothing barrier up front with a layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And for this one here, I've got some 45 ACP that was actually sent to me by my Cajun buddy, David from Louisiana. I really appreciate that. As you can see, what we're looking at here is the Remington Golden Saber brass jacketed hollow point. Now these, as you can see, are packaged in that black and white Leo packaging, the 50 round box. Here you can see the projectile, nice nickel plated with that brass case Golden Saber. Now these are the non-bonded version. The ballistics on them are saying 1015, and that is from a 5-inch barrel. We're using some shorter ones here today, so we're not going to see that. Now I have actually tested the bonded version of this as well. You can see here, this is 185 grain Golden Saber, but these are the bonded ones. Same kind of deal here. You can see they look really similar, very similar as far as the projectile. A little bit of difference there. The non-bonded actually has a little bit of deeper cavity. Both of them got large primers. The non-bonded I've tested, it's been quite a while. I tested that from my Taurus Commander and in a full-size 1911. Those didn't do that well out of Taurus Commander, and that's what I'm working on here today, is finding some short barrel stuff. But out of the Commander, they didn't do all that great, so I'm hoping the non-bonded does better. Now, no matter what happens today with this standard pressure here, he also sent the plus P version, so I'll be doing a follow-up test with that, and most likely another test with them out of the full-size 1911s if y'all are interested in seeing that. But as far as what I'm using today, the main thing he was interested in seeing was the Commander length. So I've got my Taurus Commander here with a 4 1/4 inch barrel, and instead of going to a 1911, I know these are going to perform well out of a full size. There's no doubt. Even the bonded did, and these being 1015, there was no, I can't remember if there was a barrel or wasn't. I don't think there was a barrel length listed, but looking back on that old bonded test, we got 1016 from the 1911. So I'm assuming that's out of a 5-inch. But back to this again, long story short, instead of going long, I'm going shorter with this one. So I've got the G30 here with the roughly 3.8-inch barrel. But this should be pretty interesting. I'm really hoping that these non-bonded versions do well all the way down, even to the short G30. But let's get it all set up and see what they can do. All right, let's see what kind of numbers we can get from these shorter barrels out here. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each of them, starting with the Taurus Commander 4 1/4 first. Now remember, the box or the info on the site saying 1015 here, and I'm assuming that's out of a 5-inch barrel. So you'll see multiple velocity readings here on this lab radar. The large number is right here at the muzzle, and then you've got 5 across the bottom. Those are set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet, and then the others are set for 10, 15, and 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. So 1015 is what we saw out of a 1911 with the bonded. So I forgot to even look and see what these are running. I'm pretty sure I tested the bonded out of this one too, but we'll just find out right here. 1034, 971, 1026, 1004, and 989. So some of them over what they claim and some of them under what they claim. Let's check out the average. All right, so our 5-round average right there was 1005 feet per second. Not the most consistent stuff in the world, but not horrible. 63 extreme spread with a 26 standard deviation. 1005, 185 grain projectile. I mean, I don't know, 45 is a tough one to guess on, but I think we might get a little something out of this. But let me get it reset and we'll see what the shorter barrel G30 can do. All right, let's see what this 3.8-inch barrel can do. Based on what we just saw, I mean, 3/4-inch barrel less there, and we were, what, 10 FPS short? That's about right there. So I'm almost positive they got that out of a 5-inch barrel. Based on that, we'll probably see, I don't know, right around 1,000, probably a little under 975, 980, something like that. Well, let's see what happens. 982, 1007, 945, 1011, and 993, so about where I figured, a little bit faster maybe, but pretty much what I figured. Let's see what the average is. All right, so right about what I figured. That time we had a 5-round average of 988 feet per second, nearly the same spread there, 66 extreme spread with a 26.4 standard deviation, so pretty much the same kind of consistency or inconsistency out of both barrel lengths, so take that for what it's worth. 988 here, and if you remember on the Commander, it was 1,005, so you're only talking about 17 feet per second difference between these two. So that being the case, I would say if the Commander does well, the 30's probably going to do well also. They're just so close that they're probably going to do about the same in the gel. Now, what that's going to be, that's still a mystery. That's really hard to guess on 45 ACP. These non-bonded sabers, I think, might do okay, but I'm really not sure. Let's get this stuff set up, and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's can the brass get the pass jelly time. I'm gonna put one from each barrel length into the gel, starting with this 4 1/4 Commander. I guess this right here you could kind of call the bellwether, canary in the coal mine, whatever you want to call it. If this one does well, the other one's probably, well, I can't even really say that. Let's just see what happens. All right, I think I came out the doggone side. Let me go see. Of course, that one came out the side. I should have known things was going too smooth so far today. Let's see if I can get this one over a little bit. All right, that was definitely much better right there. Let me go check it out. All right, that one actually looks really nice down there. Very, very nice. And it was moving sub 1,000 when it hit the block. So that gives me a little better hope for these right here. I think so far from what I'm seeing, if you're going Golden Saber, non-bonded is the way. Let's see what happens here with the G30. All right, hopefully I managed to put that in between, or at least where we can see them. Let's go check these out. All right, let's check out what we got down here. That one right there came really close to that first one, but I kept them separated, and we got some very, very good performance from both of these barrel lengths. Kind of surprising, but again, in the past, if I'm remembering correctly, the non-bonded Golden Sabers have really done well and consistently well. I think I may remember a case of jacket separation from some caliber, but not a huge deal there. Overall, though, I think they've done pretty well, if I remember correctly, and this is another case where they did a fantastic job. So the first one down here on the bottom, that's the first one from the Commander that went out the side, but I can tell you right now, it's expanded because I actually picked up the projectile. It came out right here and went backwards about 4 yards. It was about a yard past me, and it's very nicely expanded. So you can see it comes in here, very, very nice disruption and energy transfer all the way through this first block. This one goes into the second block about 2 inches and then pops out the side again and rebounds backwards towards me. And then of course going all the way up to the top next, that's the second one from the Commander, just so we could catch one. Again, it looks nearly identical. Fantastic energy transfer and disruption all the way through this block. This one pokes into the second block maybe about 1 inch, and again, very, very nice expansion. And then of course, last but not least, the one right here in the middle, just above that first Commander, is the one from the G30. Again, absolutely fantastic performance. This thing comes in here, immediate expansion, very nice energy transfer again all the way through this block. This one goes almost exactly the same distance as that one from the Commander, about 1 inch into the second block. And once again, you can probably already see from this angle, fantastic expansion. So as far as the penetration on them, the first one in the Commander, it went out at 18.5, and I can tell you it was at full travel because it kind of rebounded and then came out. So 18.5 inches there. The second one from the Commander is exactly 17 inches, and then the one from the G30, again, exactly 17 inches. So very, very nice from all three of those. And then here's your close-up look. Again, just fantastic disruption and energy transfer from all three of those all the way through this block. Just very, very nice. And then you coming up here, you can see those two, fantastic expansion from both of those and identical penetration. And then this one here, you can see a little bit further going out the side. A little tricky from this angle to see those two in the front, but you can see that one on the top, that was the Commander. I mean, you were talking about some very, very nice energy transfer from that right there. All right, let's take a look at these projectiles here. More very, very impressive stuff. These things look absolutely incredible. They did an absolute perfect job. I mean, this is perfect performance right here. These right here, this is the one from the Commander that we caught. This is the one that bounced back at me. As you can see, let's look at these first. So this is the one we caught. Here's the one that bounced back at me. Like I say, no doubt about it, they did exactly the same. These things are incredibly consistent and very nice performance. Here's the one from the G30. Again, just incredible performance from both of these things in whatever barrel length. But let's get a few measurements and see how they did there. Now, they started at 185. We'll do these from the Commander first. That one there, we got 184.6, so probably nothing lost there, manufacturing tolerances. This other one from the Commander, we've got 185.1, so again, nothing lost there. And then the one from the G30, we've got 185.4, so nothing lost from any of these. Maybe something there, just a few crumbs, but probably just manufacturing tolerances. And then as far as your size, this is probably going to be real similar to this one from the Commander. You got 632 and 626, so very, very nice even expansion there. And then this one from the G30, you got 626 and 646. So again, nearly identical expansion, nearly identical penetration, and both of them did a fantastic job. So there you go, y'all. Again, just absolutely fantastic performance from these right here. Really not much left to say besides that. They got incredibly nice penetration and expansion. As far as the velocity, a little inconsistent there. I would say it's probably would be more consistent out of the full-size 1911, but I mean, how can you complain about this right here? You got absolutely fantastic performance from both of these barrel lengths. All right, y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up right there for a pretty impressive 45 ACP test. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised by this one right here. I really expected not the greatest performance and then to have to redeem themselves using a plus P, but this right here did a fantastic job. Again, I think this is perfect. I really like that they both perform nearly identical regardless of the barrel length. I think that's a huge plus because you don't have to worry whatever you're carrying that day, you know that you're going to get the performance you're expecting. So to me, that's a big, big plus. But let me know down in the comments what y'all think about it. Any of y'all out there carry the Golden Saber in 45 ACP or any other caliber? Do you carry the bonded or the non-bonded version? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed the video, take a second and hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications so hopefully you get notified when I upload stuff. Reminder again, if you're doing some shopping, check out those affiliate links in the video description. Lots of really good stuff down there, and anything you pick up helps out the channel, so I really do appreciate that. Big thanks again to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I've got one more pretty interesting test planned for out here today, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.